Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Football United TV. We are here for United Across the Globe, where we talk all things Man United that's happened in the week. And of course, I'm here once again with Lauren, my co-host on the Premier League weekend show.
Matt, can you hear me?
I can.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Oh, no.
Let me come out and I'll come back in.
Okay. Doesn't quite ruin the stream if you can hear... If you can't hear me and I can hear you, that's cool. Lauren will be back in a minute. Talk is here. How you doing, Talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Technical difficulties. You had it last time. Yeah. Now it's Lauren's turn. So we take it in turn.
You know what? These things run on noughts and ones, so, they're not infallible. So these things happen, don't you know what I mean? Yeah, we got to do 4 or 5 in there. It's like, what?
Exactly, do mate. I remember last time with you, you had it about 3 or 4 times. Something happened, didn't it? And it just happens. Life in times.
It's rare, though. To be fair, it's rare that happens on mine. I mean, I don't usually have any problem. But I am looking at getting another mic because the mic I'm using now, I don't even know. I never don't even know what it sounds like. Does it sound clear?
Sounds better than my mic. I know that for sure. When I watch back on vlogs, so.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that's just a built-in mic into my laptop. Mind you, it is a really expensive laptop, so I will say that. But no, I'm looking at getting a different one.
It's probably the reason why it's so good. So we have Lauren here. She'll be back in a minute, and hopefully Amy Dock as well might creep in. I know she's a bit tied up at work at the moment. If not, we'll get her on next time. We are here to talk about.
There we go.
Lauren's internet problems.
Yay! Can hear you now.
Good,
God
brilliant.
knows what happened.
Check 1, check 2. Testing.
We're good.
We're good. So we are here, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about the Liverpool game quickly, but then we're going to talk about the Spurs game coming up this weekend, which is a very big one for both bosses as well. It's going to be a difficult game. We won't get into that right now, though. We're going to quickly talk about, of course, the Liverpool game, Lauren, aren't we? Just very quickly, because I know we touched up on it, didn't we, in our last show? Disappointing performance from us, wasn't it? What do you think about that result, and how can we bounce back from such a poor defeat?
I think we're honing in on the managerial problems, which obviously he has definitely shown, and the coaching as well, but it's also showing big problems in the squad as well. And the team they're not playing as a team, they're playing as individuals. A lot of them aren't really looking like they want to play. The heads are down. We're not that kind of team. We've always been a team that can pick themselves back up. But that game, it was like we knew we were going to lose, so we didn't really go for it, and that's not what we're about. And in terms of how do we kind of come back from this for the Spurs game, I think we're going to have to basically go back to the drawing board and remember what United's about and what the spirit's about, because nothing's going to change in terms of coaching, the manager or the team at the moment. So we need to strip back to the basics and remember why everyone's there in the first place and what job they've got to play. I think they can do that, but I think my worry is as well, I know Varane's been in training. Are we going to bring Varane back too quickly? That's a big worry. But I think, we just need to strip it back to basics and remember what this club's about, and we are there to win, and we've got a squad that can win it.
Yeah. You know what? You made a really good point. The fact that we turned up knowing that we were probably going to lose, and we didn't even try to do anything about that. And that's not really in the DNA of Man United. You don't look at another team and go, right, we've definitely lost this before we've even kicked a ball. Talk. You agree with that? I mean, I'm on that side. I think that's appalling from our squad. Not from our squad, sorry, from our club.
Yeah, I mean,
have that mentality in such a big game.
Confidence thing, isn't it? It's a huge confidence issue. This is what the major problem is, because you know you're not playing particularly well. You know, you hear it from the fans, you see it from the results. So, you know, yeah, maybe there was a bit of that going into this game, but
oh,
sorry. I'll be back in a moment. You want
we
to
have a little kitty cat coming in. Does the cat want to say anything about Man United? I mean,
she agrees. She agrees.
I wondered what that was. I was like, what is that?
She
Hello?
agrees.
Oh, look.
I'll be back in a moment. I'm sorry. This is chaos.
You love this.
But yeah, so I think, you know what, we need to listen. They are. We also going into the next game, Spurs are struggling and blah blah blah. So you would hope that there's enough there to sort of build some fake, you know, for sort of fake confidence. You know what I mean? They're going to have to G themselves up. They really are. All he's going to have to do is utmost to get them fired up. He's going to have to make some changes. We know that Pogba's not going to be playing because of his red card, etc. So, I mean, I'm hoping to see Alex Telles replace Luke Shaw, to give Luke Shaw a bit of a rest. I think Varane will play, if I'm honest with you. I think Varane will play.
I've heard that. He's coming back early.
I want to see Sancho and Rashford either side, because that way we've got balance then. And that's where I think we've been lacking as well. Because Greenwood, yeah, he's been doing all right, but you know what? Just give him a rest. Just drop him for a couple of games. You know what I mean? We need to get in some kind of form, and very quickly, but I think Ollie is now in caretaker mode. That's what I think. Ollie is now the caretaker. So he was the manager, now he's the caretaker manager for these next games. This is what I believe has happened here. They have said to him, right, look, we're not going to sack you in a really disrespectful way or anything, but it's obviously not working. We are going to give you these last 3 games while we get somebody else in the background. So you're now in the caretaker position. So it will be done really cleanly. I think it's going to be done really cleanly. After the international break, it will come out, new press conference, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will come out and he'll say, look, from mutual agreement, that's what it's going to come down to. Blah, blah, blah. And I've done all I can and start to pass the reins on. And then Antonio Conte will come in. That's how I see what's happening here. So, you know what? Will they pick themselves up for Ollie for these last 3 games? I think they will. They will know themselves. They'll know what's going on. So if they've got a kind of sort of excitement building, like we have for Christmas, these boys might be thinking, yeah, okay, Antonio Conte's coming in. Yeah, I want to show, my worth to the squad. Well, we may well see a really. I mean, Tottenham, they may well be on the end of a good hiding, because we've got a good record there. Really have. You know what I mean? We've beat them I think we've played them 58. I think it's 58 times we've played them all together, and we've won 36. And we've done them 14 times away. They've only done us 4 times away. So we've slapped them up. We've slapped them royally. They're not really any. I don't see we having anything to fear from them, even though considering the result. You know what I mean? That's gone now, and that's how it has to be. That can no longer be mentioned at the club. Just it's gone, done.
I have one worry, and going back onto the Liverpool game, the fact that I think Scholes said, if you're Jurgen Klopp watching the Atalanta game midweek last week or the week before, it was last week, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Yeah. He could pick out the problems that Man United have in their team and their starting lineup, and I think that's why he had Diogo playing specifically. It's Diogo, isn't it? Jota, yeah. Yeah, and he saw a weakness in Man United. do you think De Santo could do the same? I mean, he's a great coach. I mean, look, he's having problems at Spurs, of course, but tactically he's better than Ollie, right? So if he's watching the videos of, say, the weekend against Liverpool and Atlanta, he could maneuver away and make his team
You
do
say that though,
do
but
a job.
what makes you think? What makes you think he's tactically better than Ollie though? I mean, listen, we know with Nuno, he wasn't afraid to switch things up when he was at Wolves. You know, he liked to do the three at the back. A lot of the time, he played the three at the back with that kind of, pressing on the wings. That's what he'd like to do. Get you on the wings, get numbers around you, and then do you on
Sounds
that?
great.
Do you like that? So
sounds like what we're lacking.
but at Spurs, it's 4-2-3-1. He's done a couple of. I think he's done 4-3-3 about 2 or 3 times, and a 4-3-2-1 a couple of times as well, which haven't worked out very well for him because they got beat off Chelsea and they got beat off. I can't remember who else they got beat off playing that formation. But so it's preferred, and what seems to be giving him the best results is the 4-2-3-1. So I don't know. I mean, will he go for it against us? Will he kind of? I don't know. I'm not too sure, if I'm honest with you. I'm not, because even though himself, mate, exactly what I've just said about us, the situation we're in, and the record, and everything that's going on at the club, I think he'll be a little bit more reserved.
I think he'll be scared as well to go for it because if he goes for it and we win, you're having a problem there because we're on this downward spiral, shall we say, that everyone's looking to beat us and we're an easy win. And if he goes, if we go to them at home and they lose, that's going to be a big, big question mark over his head as well. So I don't know whether he will go for it or whether he'll potentially play it safe to avoid a loss from against us.
It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, they're both, like I said, under threat, and this is the whole reason why this stream's called Battle of the Bosses, because one of them potentially could go. Now, do you think one of them will go though this weekend if they lose, or do you think they're both cemented at the moment in the club that they're at? There's not really many managers about, is there? Especially for Spurs to get another manager in, and of course United. You were saying talk that Conte is up for it. Apparently, still rumours from Zidane. Lauren, what do you think? This is doom or gloom for both of them?
For Noon, I don't know. Not at the moment. I think when you look at Spurs as well, they struggle for a very long time to get anyone after Mourinho. So what makes that any different now when they're still kind of struggling? You question if it took so long to get Nuno in when they already wanted, no disrespect to Nuno, a higher level manager, but it kind of looked like they settled for Nuno, even though I do believe Nuno is actually a good manager. I don't know how they would then think if they sat Nuno, they're going to get anyone better again. For me, I don't think they're ready to sack him. I think if Christmas comes around and they're still in the same position, then yes, he's going. But right now, I don't necessarily think it's going to be a sacking straight away.
No, I don't either. I do think maybe for Ole though, depending on how heavy we lose, if we lose, or I mean, if we win, probably not. But what about Ole, Lauren? Do you think that if he loses, this might be his end?
I think the club's still stuck with sentiment, and I think they're kind of still stuck in this Sir Alex Ferguson era of like, he's a Solskjaer's a club legend. We've got to stick with him. I think, as Talk says, I think we are going to do it very respectfully. I don't think we'll just sack him off the back of a result. I don't think we'd ever do that. I think if that's what we're saying, that it's going to be the 3 game and the international break, I think that's how it's going to happen. And we're going to have to stick it out until then, whether we lose or win.
Yeah, I mean, the clubs usually do wait for the international breaks, don't they, Talk? I think it's quite a good time to be able to bring somebody in, show them the background, show them the facilities, work on the players that are not in on international break. So I don't know. Yeah, it's a good idea if it does happen. Do you think, Tal?
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I believe is happening here, because I just think it's you've got to look at like if you have a crash, you've got to go right. Okay, well, how fast was you going? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were going fast. We were like free falling, and then the impact happened against Liverpool. So you have to look at it from that point of view as well. So you know what I mean? It's like the car was out of control. You know, if this was the police looking at a crash, you're out of control. You're half drunk. You know, you weren't fully in control of your vehicle, i.e., I was going to say skulls then. Ollie not fully in control of the squad. So you know what? I think it's done. I think it's already been done and it's been decided. I think Ollie's probably fully aware of that himself as well. And you know what? I think I'd be putting in money on it. I would definitely put money on it that that's what the case is. So it may make things easier for Ollie, knowing that he's got these 3 games and that's it. You know, he may well feel, okay, I'm going to try some things. I'm going to give some players a chance. You know, that kind of arrangement. But
do you think he might stick with what he's stuck with his whole time, or do you think he's going to pick a side for the fans? So say like Donny van der Beek, will he be introduced? I mean, I don't think he will do that, because then it just shows that he's not a very good manager that he has to do that. Lauren, what do you make? I mean,
I think if he was to do that, I think that's him admitting he's got it wrong, and I don't think he should do that, because at the end of the day, even if he has got it wrong, he needs to now stick with what he's gone with until he's done, and then maybe if he does feel like he's got it wrong, he can admit it. But right now is not the right time to start bringing in players he's not been playing, to basically then put even more fans on the back to say, look, what could have been. And I think that just causes a lot more heartbreak for him and the fans. I think he might switch it up from his normal starting 11 that he doesn't switch up for any opponent. But I don't think it'll be that drastic where he's starting Donny and, you know, dropping, say, Bruno, you know, things like that he never does. I don't think that's going to be the case. But yeah, I do think he should and probably will make a couple of changes.
Do you think, because you were saying as well, Lauren, about Koeman getting sacked by Barcelona, and of course he has very good links with Van der Beek. Is that a reason why people are linking him to the fact that they think, well, he can get the best out of the guy that everybody wants to see play for Man United that hasn't since he's come in? It's difficult.
Koeman's that's the point. Then that's an absolute joke. I'm sorry. This whole free Donny thing. There's something going on. And okay, now you question kind of Ollie. You are going to be questioning all his decisions, but Ollie has obviously had faith in players like Fred. He's obviously seeing something in him. Therefore, he's obviously seeing something in Donny that isn't working in training. For me, that's how I see it now, because Donny is supposedly this potentially world-class player. And for Ollie not to play him just doesn't make sense to me if it's not something to do with training. I think
it's a case he just doesn't trust Donny, because obviously he's not going to get into those forward midfield positions because we've got Bruno and Pogba.
Yeah.
Why did he buy him then? Why did he buy him?
And then in the deep line position, he just obviously doesn't trust him. Just doesn't trust him to to be consistent.
That's terrible. Like, why would you buy a player and then say you don't trust that player?
We don't know. We don't know. We'll only find out when Ollie goes. You know, he may then reveal the whole Donny, to free himself and rid himself of any blame around Donny van der Beek's career. He may well then just come out with it. Look, Donny van der Beek was not my signing. Right? If he says that, that's all he needs to say, isn't it? You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
if he says that, then he kind of basically made Donny stay this summer because he's in his, he's in his plans.
Yeah, but if they're the only numbers that you've got, if you've only got one spare tire that you've been given, It fits on a car, but it's not the best. You know what I mean? It's like the space saver tyre, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, crap, do I really have to drive to Scotland with that on? You know what I mean? So I think that's what he was thinking was, can I get rid of it? I can't take this player out because as an asset to the team, if like for backup, it's an asset. But in terms of my plans, in terms of what I'm doing with the squad and the players I've got now, it's kind of like, he stands out like a bit of a sore thumb because it's like he's fighting really for them for the Pogba and Bruno positions, but we know he ain't as good. Well, I say we know he's not as good as them, but we don't know that, do we?
No.
And again, in the number 6 role, it's a question mark.
I think with me as well, like when I've seen him play, so I don't know if I've said this on the channel. Like I'm not slating Donny. I don't think he's bad, but I'm not his biggest fan. Like I'm not kind of there in understanding the hype, and I always sometimes think that everyone's an absolute world beater when they're not playing. But I think sometimes it was weird to watch if you like fully kind of watch the whole pitch, and sometimes players look reluctant to pass the ball to him. I don't know whether I'm just seeing that because I'm not his biggest fan, but it's not an agenda. Like I want him to do well, I really do. But there is certain points where you're watching players and they're making more awkward passes because I don't know. It just looks to me like they don't want to pass to him. Is that a lack of trust with the players as well as the manager? It's hard, isn't it, with him?
It is hard. Talk. You've got to duck out, haven't you?
Yeah. I've got. So I'm going on to another engagement, unfortunately, and I want to stay, but
kick him out. Kick him out.
I can't do nothing about it. It's the Paxton Road. It's the Man United Spurs thing. With the Man United agenda. So,
well, thank you for joining in very quickly.
Listen, thanks for inviting me on again. I really appreciate it.
Always a great chat, this trio.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, and I can't wait for that video for the next weekend. Hopefully next Sunday we'll do I'll try and fit some more games in this weekend as well, rather than just. Please. I think last weekend the Man United thing just like.
Yeah, I didn't want to think about football either. I think all my answers were really generic on Tuesday because I was just like.
Imagine if we did it Sunday night after that. I wouldn't have been able to do it.
No.
I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Listen, guys, I'll message you anyway. I'll message you and then it's a great show and I'll speak to you both soon.
See you soon, talk. See you later.
Next one. Ciao.
So where were we, Lauren? There we were talking about Van der Beek, weren't we? And I mean, what do you think? What do you think the lineup's going to be against Spurs? I mean, it's difficult to choose, isn't it? Like we just said as well, the fact that a lot of people were hoping that he goes with what the fans want, but as a manager, like you said, you don't do that. It shows that you don't know what you're doing, and it's going to be a difficult and tricky situation for him, isn't it? I think this game.
I think it is. I think he's going to have so many factors in his head of what the fans want, what's right for the team, what he wants, what the coaching staff are saying. There's so many factors that this is so much pressure. This is so much more pressure than the Liverpool game because it's off the back of the Liverpool game. So I think he's got the hardest job this weekend. I really do. And I feel for him because he's got any kind of decision he makes is going to be scrutinized to the high heavens. So I think with a lot of people as well, anything he does, he's going to be wrong, whether it turns out right or not.
Do you think Tottenham have got a better squad than us? I know. I think we've got a better team. Like on paper, I think maybe, but I look at Tottenham as well, and they're not too bad really. I mean, I know they've sort of lowered their standards since the Champions League final, but they've still got a decent array of players that they can use if they need to.
They have, but then I know people are kind of having this thing about Ronaldo is off the boil and things, but you look at Harry Kane and where's he now kind of thing. You know, I think he's kind of given up on Spurs. He's lost.
He's able.
You know, I think they've got really good players, but again, it's that kind of lack of cohesiveness on the pitch that I think they have as well. I think they've got a lot of players who play for themselves. they've got a couple of, decent players, but I think altogether, I do think we do have a better squad and we do have a better team and we have better facilities, I think, from our players than they do. You've got Son, who is just mind-blowingly brilliant. Like, I can't, if outside of kind of United, he's my favorite Premier League player. Like, he's just, honestly, I watch him in awe and I just think he's really good. But what he needs now is, him and Harry Kane for years worked. Harry Kane's given up now, so Son needs that kind of new link-up player. So I could be saying this is going to come back to bite me when they both link up and score four against us. Like, it is what it is, isn't it? But no, I do think we have the better squad, in all honesty.
Lauren, that brings me on to a good question. I didn't have this wrote down or anything like that, but who would you swap to have Son in Man United's team? I'm throwing that out there. Difficult, isn't it? Because he's your favourite player in the Premier League. I'm guessing you'd love to see him at Man United.
Oh, I've always wanted to see him in Man United.
Where would he fit
I'm going
in?
to answer it, but I do question whether he'd actually fit as a Man United player.
Does he need that number 9, Lauren? Is that what you're saying? That we haven't got a Harry Kane, have we? I mean, Ronaldo and Cavani, but they're at that age right now.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that they are magnifique number 9s, but yeah, what you think that would be the problem with him coming to Man United is the fact that he wouldn't be able to feed someone like he does with Kane.
Yeah, I think if we had Cavani in his prime or Ronaldo in his prime, it'd be
Bella.
an absolute match made in heaven. But
yeah, could you fit him in still? Maybe put him as a number 9, a fake number 9, like Man City do, with Grealish and Foden.
I mean, you could potentially put him as a fake number. Who can I not just go with the whole squad rotation? Don't get rid of anyone.
You do whatever you want, Lauren. It's your choice. It's freedom to live.
That's another thing as well. We have got squad rotation in those forward plays and that attacking play, but we don't use it. That's another absolute gripe of mine.
I don't think they have one either, do they? They don't have They don't have Kane. They don't have anybody, do they?
No. I think that's the thing. I don't think I can actually answer who I'd get rid of.
It was very difficult.
It is.
I can't even
if I think of it, well, by the end.
You'll get back to us in like a week or so, or maybe on Saturday night when you realise that they beat us 7-0.
Yeah.
Or something. You'll be like, yeah, we should fit him in somewhere. Left back, he'll do. Yeah, you know what? I don't know whether thinking of a Spurs perspective, Lauren, who do you think they would like from Man United in the Tottenham team? If he was a Spurs fan, or if he was outside of the bubble, you'd say, who would Spurs like? Who would fit in at Spurs right now from Man United? I'd say Sancho.
I was going to say like a Sancho or a Rashford. They can have Rashford if they want.
Oh, why?
Oh yeah, are we going for this? No, I'm giving Rashford this season for me because last season I had a huge love-hate relationship with that man. Some people were calling an agenda, which is as far off it as you can get it, because I have been a huge fan of Rashford since his first ever game. Honestly, he has been an absolute love of mine. But last season for me, his stats, his goals and goal assists were incredible. But he'd score, but for 88 minutes of the game, I wouldn't be impressed. Constantly offside, losing the ball, slowing the play down, making the wrong pass, taking too long with passes. the anger I used to get, but I used to get so angry at him because of the potential we know he has.
Yeah.
That's why I used to get so annoyed at him. But he's doing okay so far now. Because everyone would use the excuse that his shoulder, this, that, and the other. Shoulder don't make you forget the offside rule. So, and I'd have people telling me, "Oh, well, Chicharito, Rude, we're always offside." But they didn't have VAR then, so they got away with it.
But
we're in a different game.
They're planning on bringing out this new technology, aren't they, with that offside ruling? Have you heard about that? They're going to try to bring it into the World Cup in Qatar. I think it's going to be the first place it's implemented. It's basically a line that they can do it digitally. Don't even have to do it by doing, you know what they do,
yeah.
it together. And I think there's some sort of technology they got now where they can literally identify whether someone's offline or not. I'm not sure if it's going to be a toenail thing, because you hear that conversation about, is a toenail offside? Is that really offside? Yes, it's difficult, isn't it, with the offside ruling as well? And you see what happened with just to talk about that as well. Actually, who was it now? Was it QPR? QPR, yeah, it was. They went out, didn't they, against Sunderland?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the player. He used to play for Southampton. Can't remember his name. Sorry, please, if you're in the comments, do shout him out. I can't remember his name. Good lad as well. Charlie Austin, actually. There you go. So he was fully onside, and they ruled it off as an offside. So
there's been so many of that though. With VAR, it's just a joke. No one knows any rules when it comes to VAR, I don't think.
Lauren, do you think that Ronaldo one was offside against Liverpool? And not that it really matters. We don't really want a consolation, do we? But I mean, was it? It didn't look like it to me, even after the replay.
I did say. I said offside straight away.
Yeah,
ground. Yeah, I did. Me and the lads that I sit next to, we were like, that was off. Surely that was off. We were kind of convinced it was offside. And when it went to VAR, we were like, we knew it. We weren't even kind of sitting and waiting for it.
You can't see at the ground either, though, can you, at Old Trafford? They don't show it.
No, you can't. You don't get the replays or anything, which is hard. It's kind of, you think it's great being at the ground, but you sometimes you just want to see a replay or something. But yeah, for me, I did think it was offside. I'm not going to lie, I've not watched any replays because I couldn't bring myself to watch anything about that game.
Let's read this out from Anthony Herbert. Big yourself up, mate. Trouble is both teams ain't playing that great, which I can see this game being a 1-1 draw. Lauren, what do you think the result will be this Saturday at 5:30?
I agree there with kind of like a 1-1 in a way, because as I said before, I think Nuno's going to kind of play it safe. Then if Ollie's not going to change much, we struggle to break down teams anyway. And if Nuno's kind of going to sit back, and I think maybe potentially both teams can play a boring game because they're both too scared. But as a United fan who wants to feel optimistic, I'm going to go with a probably 2-1.
To us.
Yes.
I want us to win. I do. I don't want Ollie there. I know it's difficult, but I'd never want to see Man United lose. Like, you don't have to lose. You don't have to lose in order to get rid of your manager. That doesn't. No. It's not necessarily the case. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say something silly like 4-1 Man United. I just have this weird feeling, and I saw Rashford's tweet. I think it was today or yesterday, how he really felt bad about that result against Liverpool.
His PR team.
Of course it is, but you want to hope, don't you? You want to hope they really, really mean what they say. And it kind of built me up. I was like, maybe they hopefully they are trying to sort it out, even though I know a lot of the players are not backing Ollie at the moment, are they?
No.
That doesn't help Ollie either, does it? The fact that players are sort of coming out saying that not happy.
I think I don't really know if any players kind of, for me, how I felt, come out and said they're not happy. I think what we need to touch on as well is Pogba's comments, which we have to remember Pogba's never done in the past. Media has come out and said many and many things about Pogba, and all the fans have ever wanted from him is him to knock them down and say that it's a lie. He has never done that because Raiola has always been in the way. Now, for some weird reason, this time, Pogba's come out and made two very big statements saying this isn't true. And Pogba is a massive influence in that dressing room. So you just, I don't know if he's lost the dressing room. I don't know whether he's lost the faith in the players. I really don't. I don't know whether he has. I just don't know whether they're understanding the way they're being asked to play is more of the thing.
It's difficult because, like you said as well, PR. Like you're not ever really going to come out and say, you know, Ollie. Like Talk said as well, Ollie's not going to come out and sort of say what the truths are around the club because he's getting paid, and he's not going to walk either because he will lose that payout. So he's doing everything that's right for the board. And with him coming out, you know, when he said that thing about Rashford as well, saying I wish he focused more on his football. And then he comes out a day later retracting from that, which makes
I don't think he should have ever done that.
Why would you do that? It seems like it's coming from the board. The board have gone, no, change that. You're making.
Because I think it was true.
Yeah, I think it was. But I think,
don't get me wrong, I don't think what Rashford's doing is wrong, and I think what he's doing is absolutely incredible. But you're a footballer at first, and if it's letting then your football drop,
yeah.
I don't want it, because I think this opinion can kind of make it look like you don't think flipping giving food to kids is good. I think what he's doing is absolutely incredible, and for a lad his age, it's phenomenal. But unfortunately, you're a footballer at first, and you're letting your first job drop.
Yeah, and look, I think that's another good point as well. Is he wouldn't have been able to have that voice had he not been what he is.
Yeah,
got to protect that as well as doing what you're doing in order to make it a better thing.
Yeah,
because you still get more followers, more people liking him, more people listening. The better he does on the pitch. So the way you perform on the pitch can actually help out what you're trying to do off the pitch.
Yeah.
So if you're lacking in performances and you're dropping down the grades, then people might lose interest in what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So I just hope that he can kind of juggle the both together.
Find a happy medium of where you can do both.
Yeah, because you don't see. I mean, Raheem Sterling was kind of first in the media, you know, talking about the racist issues and stuff like that. But he's not full on in it. He just says his bits and then he continues with football. Whereas Rashford has literally been. I remember I was watching Pointless yesterday, and it came up with the MR is a player for Man United who's got this free school kids meals thing, and I was just sort of like, there's more to him than that, though. Like, you know, he's a good striker, but it all seems to be focused on that. Which, look, I don't disagree. Like you said, he's doing a wonderful thing, but surely he does want to be a good football player,
and he needs to remember that he potentially is tarnishing that memory that he could create for himself. Because he's not there yet.
No,
and this is his boyhood club, so surely he. But if he does want the kind of charitable side of him more, then let that happen, and let someone else have their shot where you are getting a game week in, week out.
Yeah, play at West Ham or Leeds or somewhere like that, and then do what you're doing, and you'll be all right.
Maybe not Leeds. Oh,
they are struggling. They do need a Rashford. They do. They really do need a Rashford. I know Bielsa's on his last legs as well, but he'll probably have to walk before they sack him because they love him too much. The Man United agenda, how are we, guys?
We're getting better.
We're getting better. We're feeling a lot better. Anthony says Nuno new at the job, so time on his side at the moment compared to Ole, but the board does like Ole, and he's been backed by all these signings. Ole in. You're going to say Ole in if you're an Arsenal fan, aren't you? Arteta in as well, by the way. I'll say that back to you. Matt looks like my number one fan today. Yeah, it does, mate. You all on the comments. How many arms and fingers have you got to type all these? Jeez. Hi, Anthony Herbert. Big up Rich Sports. Go check out Rich Sports. Good Man United channel. Anthony Herbert again. I know it's early days in the season. You're 8 points off the top and a bit off a goal difference as well. But where do you think you will finish? Good question, Lauren. I'll throw that to you. It's very early days, so it's a hard question to ask.
It is. I think if nothing changes and we're still with Ollie, I think potentially we could be looking at maybe 6th, 5th at a push.
That really
hurts.
Really hurts.
I think if things can change, not just manager, coaching staff, I think we're looking at 3rd. I really want to get better than last season, but I can't see us being better than Chelsea or City, and that's the realistic view of it.
We've got to wait another year, Lauren.
I know.
I thought this was the year that we could at least contend.
Yeah.
At least contend. I'm not saying win it. At least be in top 3 by March and have like 8 weeks to maybe win the bloody competition. But we're off the pace at the moment, aren't we? And that's really unfortunate. Big up Stephen as well. Big up Luca. Great show. Charlie Austin, yeah, you got it right. Cheers, mate. I did in the end, without your help. I'm going to boast about that a little bit. I feel Man U will win this game. Yeah, we both feel that. So
yeah.
I feel be battle because both managers are under pressure. One of the teams has to win. Well, they kind of do, yeah, don't they, Lauren? I mean, we're both struggling at the moment, so we both need the win. That's very important. But who is going to win? That's a different
question.
Just to wrap it up, then, Lauren, we got Atalanta, haven't we, in Champions League? That's got to be a win as well, hasn't it? We've got to win that one away.
Yeah, we could be out, couldn't we? What are we on? Or did that game saved us, didn't it? The Atalanta game.
Just about 6 points from 9.
Yeah. I think we lose.
Do you think we're gonna? Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? They'll want revenge because they felt like they had that game in the palm of their hands, and we took it away from them with a winner from Ronaldo right at the end. So I can't see Atalanta sort of being easy with us. Let's put it that way. And they were missing a few players as well, and I think they might be back now. So it will be a lot tougher.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the score will be there, Lauren, against Atalanta?
I'm going to go again and say 2-1, but to Atalanta this time. Ooh. I think we'll go up first. For some reason, I think we'll go up first, but we'll then think we've won it like we do if we go up 1. And they will be theirs for the taking. I hate to be this negative. I hate it, but
you're being very unbiased. You're being very unbiased. This is the show where you can be biased to Man United, but that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Do you know what? I'm going to say the same, actually, to be fair. 3-1 to Atalanta. That hurts. Really hurts because we should be beating Atalanta. This is not a very...
What are they? The 9th in their league?
I think they are. Yeah, like that. Recent results.
They're down. Or they could be... That's a lot. I think they are. I think they're bottom end as in like the mid of Serie A.
Please tell me they're a bit higher.
I don't think they are because I think I remember being like they might even be lower than that.
Oh God, this could be brutal.
Oh no, they've gone up to 5th.
Whew, okay.
Yeah.
That's a bit better then. For
Yeah,
them.
they drew the last game. That's why.
Whether that's good for us though, because obviously if they're doing all right now, they're higher up than us in the league. So
I
they'll
mean,
be
it
going.
is Serie A though, so
It is Serie A. It has got a bit tighter in Serie A. With the Liga as well, the same thing because they've lost a lot of star players and they lost out on the Super League, so they've had to sort of rebuild the leagues as best as they can. Yeah, okay, 3-1, 2-1 from you. Akil here as well.
thank you.
There you go. He's got you. One more comment and then we'll finish it off. Anthony Herbert, you might have a better run in the Champions League than the league, which could be a bit frustrating. Yeah, well, how would you think about that then, Lauren? Say we get to like the semis of Champions League, but then we're like 9th, 8th in the league. How are we going to do that?
I'm sorry, I've had this conversation, but it's a little bit different. But the question to me was, what would you prefer?
Mm-hmm.
The Premier League or the Champions League? I will forever stand by my answer and say Champions League, and I'll tell you for why.
Go on.
Champions League gives any football fan the most euphoric nights ever, whether you're at the ground or just watching it at home. No one ever forgets when your team wins that Champions League. No one forgets where you were. No one forgets what you were doing. So, okay, if we got to the semis, I'd probably actually hate that more because I'd rather have just bombed out because we never ended up winning it anyway. But if we were so close, if we didn't win it, then my answer would probably, prefer to be further up in the Premier League. But if it come down to United winning the Premier League or United winning the Champions League, forever Champions League.
Yeah.
We've got, we've got plenty of Premier Leagues.
Yeah, exactly. I want to catch up to Liverpool as well on Champions Leagues or European Cups. So that would be nice. Especially that Real Madrid have got is it 13? It is 13, isn't it?
Yeah, because they did 3 in a row, didn't they?
Yeah, but they also won quite a few in the 50s when there was only like 4 teams in it. So I don't really count them really. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on that, Lauren. I'd prefer a Champions League win over Premier League, and I know a lot of fans disagree with that, don't they? They always see us win domestically before we win European, but Champions League is the biggest competition in club football, isn't it?
I think it's about the memories as well, because isn't that what football is about anyway? I don't remember every time we've won the Premier League where I was and what I was doing, or things like that. But obviously, I've only experienced 2 Champions Leagues, but one I can't really remember. Sorry.
99. You can't remember 99.
No, I know where I was because I've been told where I was, but I don't remember that. But the 08.
Magnificent, wasn't it?
I'll never ever forget it. Can I tell you a story though? I'm blabbering on here, but we're now talking about good memories for United. There was a girl in my school who was known as a pathological liar, and I remember. So I would have been in year 8. So what would have been 13, 14, and she said that after school had finished, she was flying to Moscow on a private jet to see the Champions League final, and was back in school at 9 a.m. the next morning and said she went.
Do you still know this girl? Is it a girl or a guy?
Girl.
Right.
No.
That's a very bad lie. It's a very bad lie. I don't think you can actually get a direct flight to Moscow anyway. So
well, she could on a private jet, Matt. God.
You could land on the pitch, couldn't you?
It's just one thing. I remember being there. I remember watching it all. But that is one thing that will always stick in my head as well.
Do you believe her?
Huh? At the time? No. Some people didn't. I was the one that was telling everyone that she's lying.
Why don't you just say that? Where's your pictures? Because if you've got a private jet, surely you've got a good enough camera to take
She
a
must
photo.
have a good digital camera.
She waited like 10, 12 years until cropping your faces came in. She was like, "That's me
Yeah.
there. That's not you." Do you know? Remember that I think it was a Champions League photo of the Man United team on the pitch, and a guy came on the pitch and got in the photo. Have you seen that?
Yes. Yes. I do. That has brought back a memory I forgot I had with that one.
Imagine that guy going to work like 2 days later and go, "Yeah, I stood with the team, the first team, like on the pitch for that." And they go, "Yeah, get out of here. Where's your
He'd be
proof?"
getting sacked and saying he's not fit for work.
There he is. Look, he's standing next to Scholes. Look.
I'm surprised people didn't say that about, was it Ashley Cole when he stood out in the corner of a photo like this? It'd be the same kind of energy.
That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. We've got who've we got here? Okay, maybe one more question. Okay, let's do it. Akil, if United lose to Spurs, I think we asked this already anyway. Do you think the board will call it a day and get rid of Ollie? We said no. Did we say no?
I said no. I think you said no as well, because I think we kind of agreed with talk as well that they'll always do it in a respectful way and they won't just sack him on the spot. I think
I'd like them to, Lauren, but it won't happen. I'd like them to do it, but I don't. They won't do it.
Oh, see, I'd never. I think for me, I understand we're at the end of the road with Ollie. I am still I'm still trying to hold on to some kind of hope. I think it's because Ollie, I have got this sentiment, and I shouldn't do. But Ollie and Sheringham were my two first favourite ever Man United players, should I say. So I do have that still, this sentiment for him.
You're like Rose in Titanic on that wooden plank, seeing Jack like going down, and you're like, "Jack, come back, Ollie, come back."
Ollie
down. He's never coming back, but you're still putting out a hand.
Yeah,
it's difficult.
I know it's the end of the road for him, and I know it's time to go, but I don't want to ever kind of have no problems with anyone that does, like you just said, you want him to go after the game if we lose. But for me, I can't. I'd rather them do it international break. I'd rather just stick through the last two games with Atalanta and City and have it done where we can feel like we're remembering him still as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and not the guy who got sacked for doing
I
bad.
know that's the thing. I don't want fans to really get at him. He's a club legend.
Exactly.
I love him so much.
People are losing that remembrance.
I don't want him to get sacked, but I know it's the only way. He's not going to leave if he can get a big payout if they sack him. He's not going. No person in their right mind at any job, in any industry would leave if they knew that in order to get your money you get sacked to get it, not to leave. So I can completely understand. I just hope that fans don't forget. Don't forget
who he is.
And what he's
I think some fans want him to be. I'm not gonna lie, I did just Google his name because I couldn't remember, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, should have known that. People will want it to be a Martin Jol situation. Sacked at our time, manager's already in the next manager's already in the stands. Conte's still already sat there waiting to come down for the second half.
Did Martin Jol get sacked at half time?
Yeah, 2016. And I can't remember who took over, but they were sat in the stands and he didn't know.
Oh, God.
I'll never forget that. I just could not remember his name for a second, but I remember it happening so clearly. Half time, sacked.
Martin Jol. Oh dear, sacked at half time. Did even the media come out at half time saying he's been sacked?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
The manager was in the let me see who took over. The next manager was in the stand to take over.
Who was it that took over? Hang on. 2016, you said. Martin Jol, 2016.
Yeah. Who was it?
It would have been Pochettino, wouldn't it?
Oh, it was 2016.
Yeah. I thought it was very close. I thought it must have been either him or an interim manager, but yeah, Pochettino. Okay, well that makes sense then. He was a good manager for him. It was a right move.
Crazy.
But that's not the way to.
Yeah, because it was that. Wait.
What you got there? What you got? Love Google.
I can't. Oh no, when was it? Oh no, why is it called Mourinho now? Yeah, because didn't everyone thought? Yeah, because I remember everyone thought Mourinho was going to get sacked at half time at United when we played Newcastle, and there was literally silence around the ground at half time as people were leaving because we were everyone was waiting for the same kind of Martin Yol announcement. Never came.
No, that's not Man U. I mean, I know our owners don't know about football, but I don't think they do that. That would be they would be slaughtered for that, wouldn't they? I prefer the league. It's your bread and butter. Fair enough.
Yeah, I get that. That's the kind of debate I got into with people saying it is the bread and butter.
Never want United to lose a game, but I worry we could be in for a long season if we somehow win the next few games. And Ole states it's just delaying the inevitable. He's not good enough.
Yeah, he's done it before, hasn't he? And I said this today in work that Ole's the kind of guy who, when his job's at risk, he gets the results to paper over the cracks.
Yeah.
But I think if we didn't have Ole this season, we wouldn't have the signings we do. So we have to always remember what he has done for us and what he's going to be leaving us with.
Yeah. It's
he's
the same with
the ship.
Yeah.
He made the signings.
Yeah, he's done something for the club. He's brought that feeling factor back, I think, to Man United. But he's hit a brick wall. He's hit a wall now where it's just, I can't do much more now. It needs somebody else to take it on.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish he sort of recognised that and maybe resign for the fans. Resign,
I think he does, but as you said before, is the money. He's got a family. He's not going to get that kind of money if he goes back to mould, is he? You know.
No. What is it? 6 million or something? I think payoff if it is.
Probably.
It's a decent amount.
That's set him for life, you know.
Yeah, I hope set anybody for life, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't mind it.
We wouldn't be here right now, would we, Lauren? We'd be getting that private jet to the Champions League final, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
We're going to wrap it up there then, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Please smash subscribe, like, share if you can. Thank you, Talk, for coming in as well. Hopefully we'll get Amy Dock in at some point. I know she's rather busy, but we are working people. We're not, sitting in the Shard doing and talking all football all day, every day. I wish I was.
It's the dream.
It is a dream, and we're trying to move to that dream. Dreams are to be made reality. So
got to start from somewhere.
Exactly, you've got to. Lauren, where can we find you? And by the way, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
We'll do that, won't we, for the Premier League weekend show on Sunday? Where can we find you though, Lauren?
So it's Instagram and Twitter at Lauren Page Souls. Find me on there, football, boxing, and F1. Also, I am doing a show at 9 o'clock tonight on She Devils United as well.
Oh yes, what time's that, Lauren?
9.
9 o'clock. I will be there in the comments. I won't push out too much stuff. I'll say hello. Maybe say Ole out, Ole in. What you doing? How you feeling?
As long as you're respectful in the comments, we're happy.
Always am. As Mary knows as well. Big up to Mary. So we'll see you again on Sunday.
We will.
Until then, have a pleasant weekend and take care. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.